and welcome on the Workbench. Today we've got an unboxing of the Craftsman peg clamping work table. I had a video of this, of an in-store review that I did. I received this for Christmas. I wasn't explicitly asking for it, but some family of mine thought that I should have it. Not sure what I think of it, other than that it's basically a poor man's Festool MFT table. Still got questions about durability, but I got it as a gift. So I guess we'll consider that a great plus, so we'll get a chance to see how it works. So today we're going to unbox this here for you. It's a little bit late after Christmas, but the holidays have had me tied over doing other things. So if we look on the back side of the box, here the way it comes in the box, it actually comes with the handle. And if I flip this upside down like this, let me get a pair of scissors. Alright, pair of scissors. And on this end here we've got our styrofoam, and we'll have to slide this out. And on the back side, we've got packaging foam, as you might expect. More packaging foam taped on. And you can see the packing dust evidence here on the table. There's a latch in the middle to hold the legs back. So we get the one side of the legs there, and latch for the other side of the legs. We can get the rest of the packing tape here off, and then get to the manual, which is placed there. And the manual has some screws in it. And then we just lock these legs in place. You can see now we've got the table sitting here at a low height. We can raise this up. In this position, the height of the table off the ground is just a hair under 32 inches. On this side, nothing fancy. Up on top, we've got some holes here for you want to slide in some screwdrivers. We've got a fold down handle. On the front here, there's also a peg here and a dog hole here too, that you can put clamps either this way or into the side. And then on this side here, we've got our built-in power strip. Power strip requires an extension cord plugged in to actually get power. It's interesting when you look at this one, the logo here looks like it's offset a little bit, that they didn't quite get that squared up whenever they produced this table. And as I showed in the other video, the overall surface here on the top, with these buckles here, can actually be removed, revealing the substructure. We flip over the resin plastic top. You can see the grid pattern there. And then that can get locked right back down. So presumably if you needed to clean some glue off of that, you could remove that to get the glue off. One obvious thing is that because this is plastic, if you're a welder, this is not a suitable table for welding. You'll actually want a proper welding table made out of metal for welding. And then to go with this, there's also some clamps. The official accessories that go with this are a adjustable hold-down clamp, a short and a long fence. The short is 8 and the long is 12 inches, as well as a push clamp. There's also another accessory that would go with this, that if you've got another workbench, such as I've got my homemade wooden workbench over here made out of oak, where you could actually use these same hold-down clamps, but then have a bracket that attaches to that. That is not available from Craftsman, but available from the OEM of this. I'll put a link to that down in the description. So if we take a look at one of these fences here, I'm going to unbox this first fence. This is the 8-inch short fence. You get the anodized aluminum, and we get a series of 2 pegs. And these pegs slide. You can see where there's a oval shaped top. So then these slide into the groove here in the middle. You can tighten these down in the groove. They're meant to be adjustable. There we go. So that you can adjust this. For use like that square, but you can also adjust it for a diagonal clamping plane as well. So those give you some options, and so that's the 8-inch model. Then there's the longer 12-inch. This is going to be the same thing. 12-inch still comes with 2 sets of the pegs. All of this clamping table here only comes with a 1-year guarantee, so the Craftsman lifetime warranty that they're famous for does not apply to this clamping table. And so you can see with the 2 fences here in the corner, now I've got a right angle. So if I need to clamp something at a right angle, however, as you can tell, there is some slop to this because of the way that there's slop in the way that these connections here actually fit. So I'm already a little bit less than impressed with that for looking at right angles. There we go. And then for the push clamp, meant to hold stock up to the fences. What's hopefully nice about this comes in the plastic clamshell packaging, but you can actually snap it open without a pair of scissors, so I've got to give them some credit for that. And then if we take the clamp out, there's a dial here that adjusts the fitment of the peg. And so if I adjust the dial, I can slide this in and then use this to be able to adjust in or out the peg or the hold bar here, and that'll push stock here up tight up against the fence. So that's the push clamp. And just to be able to, I'll just show this here. So if I push this up to the fence, let's just go ahead and push that right into the fence. Now that's got that nice and tight. And then finally, the other one here is our hold down clamp. If we're trying to hold down stock to drill through. This comes in two parts after you remove some of the packaging. And then we've got a threaded rod here. There's a smaller thread there that threads right onto the end of the clamp here. And this just tightens down. After some turning, and that clamp just slides right in the hole. You can adjust the vertical toggle anywhere you want. Latch it down on top. The shoe here pivots, and then push down the red lever in the back to be able to hold it down. And here is the clamping table in action. I'm having to make a small repair on a split out on a baby gate, and so I've got my two fences here squared up with my baby gate fence here laying diagonally across the table here, and I got the fence there just to line it up. I've got the hold down clamp here on the right being used to actually hold down my repair, which is right down here. The other toggle clamp is being used to hold down the gate there, keep the other side from sliding because it's two parallel sliding gates. And then I got my fences here. You can see this is actually extending here beyond the edge. And so just a quick shot here of me using it in action to be able to make the repair here. I have a little bit of glue cleanup here in just a moment with a shop towel, but using this here just to hold down my piece and get things all squared up.
One comment about the fences is when you look at them set up here with two 2x4s stacked on top of each other, the larger side of the two fences is just not quite tall enough to be able to clamp the pieces together. So I had to raise up the fences here to get them across that seam. So if you're trying to clamp two 2x4s into a thicker piece of stock, you're going to run into some trouble. You'll find the fences to be just a little too short. Kind of annoying. If only they made it about another 3/4 of an inch higher, this problem would have been solved.
So a few more little updates here on the Craftsman peg clamping table. A couple other things that I found that work really nice on a project I'm working on right now is my glue brush, which is actually just a simple brush here from a home store. It can actually store very nicely just in the holes. I was doing some gluing the other day, and to set it upside down there, you can see it dripped off here, and so now you can see the glue just peeled right off. I got sawdust on there from a little bit of sanding. Glue's still stuck in the brush. One of the other things that's important, let me get out one of my hold-down clamps here. Is when using the hold-down clamps, there's a little set screw right inside here that's going to really affect your pressure. So if you're having troubles getting your clamp to hold and to hold your workpiece securely, make sure you adjust that screw. And there's one of those on the hold down as well as the push clamp. So make sure you pay attention to that. Those set screws are especially important if your work is not quite as tight as you want it to be. This little screw here doesn't actually affect this. This just keeps this in place from sliding up or down. But you can actually use that screw with the Phillips head screwdriver to adjust the tension that's applied by the clamp. So that's really useful and nice. You just have to make sure you get the screwdriver and get that set to the tension that you prefer on your clamp. So that's really important. And this is an accessory to go with the Craftsman clamping table. This is from Armor Tool Company. You can buy this online. I'll put a link below. And this is a metallic block. Armor, of course, is the actual manufacturer, OEM, of the Craftsman peg clamping table. This sells for approximately $20. This is an anodized aluminum block. You can see through it. It's got a couple holes here that you can screw it in. But what this is designed for is that you can take any of your clamps that you've got, and then these just slide right in the hole. Then you can be able to add these dog holes on the side to any other workbench that you may have. This is the 4-inch version. There's also a 12-inch version that contains 3 holes. That's at the same spacing as what's on the table here. If you look at the table spacing, you can see that goes approximately, when center over a hole, from the center of one to about halfway across the other one. If I can get the overhead camera here to get the right view. And so a couple of suggested uses is if you've got a workbench, you could just simply screw this on the side to be able to add a couple of vertical holes. You, of course, could add it onto the side here like this to be able to add some holes that way. Now, depending on how you do this here, you may want to end up recessing this out with a chisel. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick there that you'd want to then recess down, or with a router bit to go get that to be flush with the surface. One thing that's a little odd about this is if you take just a standard 2x4 and flip it on its side, you can see it still doesn't sit flush with the top of the 2x4. So that's a little bit odd. I wish this was actually the same height as a 2x4. That would just give you some more versatility in terms of making it sit nice and flush. So you'd have to add probably about a 1/4 inch piece of plywood in there to be able to fill that gap. So one of the thoughts that I have for buying this bracket is we'll take the same push clamp that I used with the clamping table here, and to build an adapter for my miter gauge, we will drop this right in, and this would slide right in the hole, so that I could just easily push this to use this to be able to hold down small stock. If I'm wanting to cut some small dowels on the table saw, I could use this as a nice push down. There's 2 holes here. This is on the upper one. If I go down to the lower one, that'll give you another inch, and this would obviously come right down to the surface of my table saw. So I thought that might be a nice little accessory to build for my table saw. If I build that, you'll see that video on this channel here in the coming weeks. Hope you found this useful, and have a great day. Bye.